Hello. I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's going to get pretty busy here pretty soon around here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I want to talk to you about the megaphone. The megaphone. So I have the megaphone. And my megaphone is
My megaphone is infertility.
that is my megaphone. So my megaphone is infertility. And I think that infertility is actually kind of a blessing because, and here's why, okay? Because you're probably wondering why. Um, I have my notes over here, so I'm going to be looking over here a lot because I had so much that I wanted to say that I had to write it all down so that I wouldn't forget anything. So I think it's a blessing in a way because it helps us to be able to help kids in a different way. I always wanted to wait until I had a child before I sponsored a child in a different country. And I did do it, but it was only for a short time, and then I fell on hard times, so I had to quit doing it. And so I had just decided that I wasn't going to do it until I had a baby. Because, as the child grew, I wanted to be able to do it with the baby. But I mean, as it got old enough to know what was going on. But I didn't really see a baby coming in my future, and it is I'm getting along in my years. So I really wanted to get it done. And so I just started doing it. And we started it, I think, like 4 years ago. We started sponsoring a little girl in Mexico. So I really have a passion for people in Mexico. I just have had a lot of Hispanic friends and stuff like that. So I've just always had a thing for the Spanish people. Plus, I really love the language. I just think the language is so awesome. And partly it's probably because it's really easy for me to catch on. So that's probably why. But, so I really like the Spanish. And so we've been, sponsoring this little girl for 4 years right there from Compassion International. And so, so we're very happy about doing that. And then, so I was going to talk about foster care. Okay, so we did look into the foster care system. We didn't really want to do foster care, but we knew that we could get a baby that way through the foster care system, like, some kind of unwanted child or, a child that was having problems at home and got removed from the family. So we looked into that and we did all the classes and we went through the program. And so we have former pastors in a different state, and they have 6 biological children, and they adopted 2 from the foster care system within a few months of finishing the program. And we had been in the program for 3 years and still did not have a child. So that kind of was weird to us, and we just didn't really know quite what to think about that. And but it's okay, so we just kept trying a little bit more, but it was not looking good that we were going to be getting one. And they would tell us, this family is available, would you like to be put on the list? And we would say yes, and then they would say, well, only one is available. Okay, well, the other one's not available either. So, and it was like they would ask for information and then ask for more information and more information and more information. And I think that it just seemed kind of unorganized, like they didn't really know what they were doing. Maybe she was fairly new, we're not really sure, but we just were not happy with the system at all. So we decided to just forego it. And then we ended up moving anyway. So I guess it actually worked out because living here is like so much better than living there. So it's like, woo, we're so much happier here. So I just think it's better here. So, yes. So now we do have children that are in heaven. So, I know that many people have gone through what I have gone through, and I don't mind talking about it because I think that if my story can help somebody, then then done more than I could do in my entire life. Here's the deal, okay? So like a lot of people who struggle with infertility, they think they're never ever going to have a child. And I'm not saying that we feel that way, but usually when you talk to people who have struggled with infertility, it ends up being that they eventually had a child. So I want to let you know that if you are one of those who did not actually have a child, you are talking to her, because we have not had a child together. And so we are still struggling with infertility, and it's been 6 years. So, yes. So I have a child who is in heaven, and we both have a child who is in heaven. So we are totally understanding what it's like to go through infertility. So if you are one of those as well, you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have one that is Samantha Rain, and she is in heaven, and Thomas, who is in heaven. Thomas is older. So Thomas is the older brother, and Samantha is the girl. So we had them at 11 weeks and 14 weeks. The second one, we were able to hear the heartbeat, and then it died. So it was like we heard the heartbeat 1 week, and then we went to the next week, and it was gone. The baby was gone. And the first time, okay, so here's the deal. If you are pregnant and you are experiencing like any kind of pain, seriously go to the hospital, because we had no idea what to think. And so the first pregnancy in 2009, we had no idea what to think, and I started having like severe pain. I mean, it was very, very painful. And so, but we didn't know anything, and the doctors didn't really tell us anything when we first went in, because we were pregnant. So we didn't know. So if you are having pain, please go to the hospital. Whatever. Because then we ended up losing the baby in the morning, and I saw it, and I think we buried it. I hope we buried it. I just don't remember, because it was too far away or too long ago, and it was very traumatic. So there was one in 1999, and then there was one in 2009, and we had a boy, and it was 14 weeks along, and yep. So that one was, I think it just passed on its own. I don't remember if I saw that one or not. I don't remember. So anyway, so we have had 2 kids, and they are in heaven, and really one is mine, but so we've had 2 kids, and they're in heaven, and so I am still a mother, because I do not believe that because our children are in heaven, that does not mean that I am not a mother. So I am still a mother. So if you have children in heaven, do not think of yourself as not a mother, because you are a mother. A mother gives birth to a baby. And so just because it didn't last very long doesn't mean that you're not a mother. You are a mother. It's the way it is. People need to realize that. Just because you don't have babies that are actually in your house, or that you've actually produced offspring that are still living, that doesn't make any difference. That your baby could have been 5 years old and died, and people would still consider you a mother. So why would it be any different for a person whose baby didn't lasted even a shorter time? That doesn't make any sense. So you are a mother. And we also have we have 2 cats now. Okay, so here's the deal. Like in 17 years ago, I adopted Chaucer and Victor, and they were orange tabbies. And so I consider myself a mother, because I am a pet mother. And so Victor died, as I think, was it last April? Was it really that long ago? It might have been. And so yeah, because we had just moved here. So Victor died, but he died at 17, so that's pretty good. And then a few months ago, we adopted Jordan Rose, and she is 8 months old and very, very cute. She was in here, but I think she left. Okay, and then, yeah, so adopting Jordan Rose was like the easiest process ever because all we had to do was like fill out some paperwork. They did the background check, and that took like a couple days. And then we were able to go there. We paid the $10 fee, and away we go with the cat. I mean, it's so easy. And so in the future, we're going to adopt more cats from the shelter because it was so easy. And I just love cats. So I think it'll be great. So we have a friend who I think it's her son. And his wife recently lost her baby. Her baby was due May 9th of this year, as in like 2 days. I just can't even imagine somebody losing their baby that way. I mean, I can't even imagine. So I have always been thankful for for only going like 11 weeks and 14 weeks, because I just think that if it was further, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. Like, I just think it would be way, way too hard. And so, so I'm actually kind of thankful that it didn't go like this till May 9th. And, okay, so I attended a church one time where I became friends with a lady who had experienced, I don't know how many miscarriages. I think 5 or 6, just insane number of miscarriages. And she did eventually birth a child, but what made me angry is that the church where she lost those babies, they said that God was punishing her. Let me tell you something.
My megaphone is infertility. God does not punish by miscarrying a child. Let me shout that as loud as I can.
Okay, so I didn't quite go as well as I expected, but hopefully. Oh, my phone is ringing. Oh my goodness. It's on the charger and I'm in the middle. Oh, what do I do? Who would be calling me? Do I stop and go answer it? Oh. I don't have much farther to go, so I'm just going to wait a few minutes before I answer it, because it'll probably be something that, like, wrong number, because nobody calls me. So I'm going to say that it's that, and then I will check it when I'm done, because I don't have much further to go. Okay, so because we don't have little kids, that gives us more time to be involved in the Big Brother program, which we are actually going to be doing tonight. So I'm excited because not only do I love spending time with this kid, and so does Phil, but I can record some of the footage of the baseball game, and then I can attach it to this one. So you'll get to see some baseball. I like baseball. So we have the opportunity to be involved with the Big Brother program because we don't have to worry about little kids of our own. And so I'm very thankful for that. And so twice a month we get to be with this boy, and he's 10 years old. And so we just really enjoy him. And this is something that I just really feel strongly about, is that if you cannot have your own child, you should help a child, whether it be sponsoring or Big Brother program. I mean, seriously, you should think about the Big Brother program, because the lady who was in charge, she just recently informed me that they are so desperate for people to be involved in this program. They really, really are desperate. So if you have put any thought into it whatsoever, please, please consider it. Because it's twice a month. You go and hang out with a kid, and it doesn't even have to be a long time. It's like 2 hours, if that. It's good for it to be at least 2 hours. But if you can't do 2 hours, at least an hour. But an hour is really short, so please at least do 2 hours. Yes. So a lot of times we spend quite a bit of time with him. Like, we usually pick him up so that we can have dinner with him, and then we buy him dinner, and then we spend time with him, and then we take him home. And so, like, it usually ends up being like we have spent all day with him before, like 5 or 6 hours, and it's just really fun, and so, like, we kind of just think of him as like our adopted son in a way. And and so we just spend time with him, and hopefully we can be a really good influence on him, because some of these kids just like he doesn't have a father figure in his life, and so Phil can be his father figure. And so I just think it's really awesome. And so yes. Now let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh, and one thing I also feel strongly about is that people who or are very rude to people that have children or that are pregnant because they're jealous. Seriously, you have got to stop doing that, because it is not healthy to be rude or inconsiderate or jealous to somebody who has a baby or is pregnant. That is just the way it is. And I know it's hard, but I myself, like, I don't really have a problem dealing with it anymore, because I've just what's the word, resolved, maybe resolved, to the fact that it's possible that we're not going to have children, together. So it's there is quite possibility, and that's just the way it is. Maybe we can adopt a robot. I just want one of those robots, the ones that look like people. I just think they're cool. I mean, I say that, but and who knows how I feel, and when they actually do come out, they'll probably be horribly expensive. But I want a robot. And so yeah, so we just think about that. We joke about that. So I just think that it's very, very bad to treat somebody poorly just because they have something that you don't. I mean, it's the same thing as if they had a Ferrari and you've always wanted a Ferrari and they can afford a Ferrari and you're jealous. You cannot be jealous, because it is not biblical to be jealous. The Bible speaks so much up against that, about being a good person, as not being jealous. Don't covet. See, you cannot covet somebody who has a baby. You can't do that. You coveting is very bad, because then it makes you do bad things. So that is what I wanted to say about that. Now we are my husband's daughter, should she ever get pregnant, she'll probably get pregnant before me. Who knows? I'm not sure if she will, but so I'll probably be a grandma before I'm a mom. See, that's funny. But I think but I would never treat her badly because she got pregnant. I would never do that. I mean, my niece had 2 babies. My sister had a baby. My brother had 3 babies with his wife. That's just the way it is. And I'm actually not the only one in my family that has not had a child. I have 3 other nieces that one can't have children. The other one has chosen not to. The other one, I don't know what her feelings are. So, so I'm not the only one. And let's see. Oh, we hear of people getting babies because, like, the people will put on Facebook, we want to adopt. And their friends will be like, oh, I didn't know you were looking for an adoption. Hey, I have a child. I have a person that I know that she has had a baby too early. You can adopt that one. And, like, we could do that and it would never, ever happen. I mean, I have posted things 20 times and people don't see it. And I guess that's the way it is, because people are busy. So we are not even worried about that. Like, that's not even going to happen. So on the news this morning, we were watching a program that talked about a new in vitro process. And we feel that this would not work with us, and it's not even available in the US. But basically what they do is they take the bad cells, and I think, and they don't have much energy, and they put them with the cells that do have energy, and then like, I guess they take the DNA from both the parents and they put it in a test tube, and then they make the baby, and then I guess they put it into the woman so that she can raise, cultivate it or whatever. And excuse me, I guess that's what happens. But I mean, really, as the reason why it has not come to the US is because the government feels that it's too close to gene something. I forget. So that's why it's not here. But I don't even think it would work. And they said it's like $20,000 anyway. So forget that. And so actually, speaking of $20,000, that's how much it costs to adopt through a private agency. And here's the deal, okay? So we could put $20,000 to a private agency and there will be no guarantee of us getting a child, because what it is you pay them money to get your name on a list, and then they'll look through the parents, the mothers who will have the babies, they will look through the list, and they will pick the parent that, and so we're just not in the position that they would pick us. So I mean, there's going to be a ton of other people that are much more highly qualified, so to say, and so they're going to pick them, and so we're just not even worried about that. So that's why we're not even doing private adoption. But I mean, if somebody watches this video and and I know them, and because I'm not just going to pick a random message from a stranger on this video, because that would not be safe. But if we knew somebody who posted that they know of somebody who has had a baby, we're not opposed to it, but we're just not going to get our hopes up about it. You see what I mean? So I think that is all I wanted to say. I really, really hope that this video was not really, really boring, but this is just something that is my megaphone. And so what it is that, like, this is my megaphone to where I can use my infertility for good, because my love for children, I can give that love to children who possibly, I don't want to say wouldn't get it at home. I don't want to say that, because that's not true for all families. In addition, maybe more love is what I want to say. And like I said, some of these kids don't have father figures. It's very rare, but some of them might not have a mother. And so, so I kind of can be an influence to them, and plus too, sometimes teachers are yelling a lot. And so I try not to yell, because I think that yelling is really, really ineffective. So I think if the child is in danger, you should yell at them. But we teach kids not to yell at adults, and then we're yelling at them. And I'm guilty of it. I have done it. I'm not proud of it, but it's something that I really, really try. And there's a difference between talking loud because they're far away or mad yell. There's a big difference. So that is what I'm talking about. So anyway, I should wrap this up, and I should see who it was that called, especially since nobody ever calls. And I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Make sure you stay tuned for the tin caps, because it will be after this. Like, I'm not sure if I will split this one like I did the other one or not. So you might have to suffer through me and then watch, or just skip, because a lot of people skip, and that's fine too. But yeah, I really don't care. But subscribe. Maybe you want to subscribe. Even if you never watch my videos, just please subscribe, because I'm stuck at 19 for ever now. And it's funny because it'll go from 18 to 19, 18, 19, 18 to 19. If we could just stay at 20, because 20 is an even number, that'd be great. Or maybe 40. That'd be cool too, because yeah, it's also even. All right, so that's all I want to say. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you later, and make sure you watch the tin caps. Bye-bye.